Good morning. It's day one of my virtual UPW. So I'm crewing a Tony Robbins event this week, a UPW, and this is my first virtual event. We've talked about adapting, we've talked about pivoting, we've talked about looking for the gap. Do you know that Post-it notes, the things that we stick, the 3M things? So do you know that those were a giant failure? So the guy that actually invented Post-it notes working for 3M, he was trying to invent a glue that was stronger than super glue and crazy glue, but easier to deal with. Obviously, it was a huge failure, and he just had the stuff sitting around. Then he noticed that people in his office would put a piece of paper in the glue and then stick it on stuff because it stayed sticky, but it didn't hurt anything. So they could put it on a computer, and then they could put it on a door, and then they could put it on a notebook, and they could peel it off, and they could put it somewhere else. And an idea was born. And he said, what about if we did a pad of papers that had this glue that you could then stick on? Well, Post-it notes saved 3M. I mean, 3M would have gone bankrupt years ago if it wasn't for Post-it notes. And Post-it notes became such a huge thing that they spun it off as its own company because it was worth more than 3M. So this giant failure became worth more than the entire company that the guy was working for. Our rocket program, the government's rocket program, which now became everybody's rocket program, that happened as a giant failure. A bunch of kids at Caltech were messing around trying to create jet fuel and almost burnt their building down. So rather than kick them out, because Caltech was smart, they put them in a barn outside of town and said, keep going. And lo and behold, they invented rocket fuel. So I'm watching the Robbins organization, and I mean, this whole organization is based on seminars. That's the whole organization. There's coaching and online coaching, so obviously that keeps going, but they do seminars. And COVID hits, no seminars. So I know that he did one for free in the spring, in April, some of the best, April or May, I don't remember, some of the best content I've ever seen him give. And then he started doing these virtual seminars. And I think they've done 2 or 3 now. And I haven't crewed one yet. This is my first one to crew. And we start today. We start in a couple of hours. And I'm seeing all of this technology that they're using. And are we going to go back to seminars where we're all in the room? Absolutely. But this technology, is it going to get used? Oh my God. So just watching how we register people and how we communicate with each other, how the crew is able to communicate with each other with these different platforms that have come around. And I can't wait to see the video, but I can see how it all works. What happens when we go through these crises is great transformations happen. So that is an awesome pivot. He's figured out how to give seminars without having people in the actual room. 2 different companies have now come up with a vaccine. What we should have done as a country is done a Manhattan Project months and months ago and taken the best and put them in a room and told them to do it together. But they came up with the same idea. Operating independently, they came up with the same idea. And when that idea gets figured out, and so far it looks like it works, but there's going to be setbacks. But when that gets figured out, it's not just corona that's going to get fixed. It's all kinds of viruses that are going to get fixed. Because this is a family of viruses that nobody's ever gotten a vaccine for. So once they do it, now we're going to have, all kinds of stuff is going to get figured out and go away. So when we go through these incredibly desperate times, remember, how do we get a diamond? You take a lump of coal and you put it under enough pressure and you get a diamond. So whatever your business is, I'm watching a guy whose entire business was putting people in a room and motivating them, and he's figured out how to pivot that and do it without the room. Pretty impressive. There's a way. There's a way to deliver. There's a way to make it work. There's a way to have it all work out so that you get to do what you want to do and do it in a way that operates and is successful. And when we go through these crises, I know that I keep saying the same theme, but it's true. when there's a disruption like this, it creates the opportunity, because the person that figures it out, what's the need that's not being filled, and figure out how to do it, the person that figures that out is the person that's going to come out on top. So think about, what is it that you want to do, and how can it be adapted so that it comes with this new territory that we're navigating. And this winter's a perfect time to do it. We're all going to have lots of time, right? Everything's going to be shut down. So here we are. So figure out how to do this. I'm looking at the practice of law and I'm watching this technology and I'm like, we can do this. We can do jury trials without having the jury in the room. We could absolutely do it. There's ways to make this all happen. So what is it you want to do? What is the gap that's going on right now in society? Take your passion, take the thing that you're interested in, and where is there a need that's not being fulfilled? Because there's hundreds of them right now. So find the one that interests you and run towards it. I can't wait to do this seminar this weekend. I can't wait to change people's lives. We got 13,000 people that are going to be on live on video with Tony Robbins in one room. That's amazing. And it's going to be awesome to be a part of. But watching this behind the scenes technology is just incredible. What they did in order to make this happen. It can be done. The greatest failures turn out to be the things that we learn the most from. That's where we grow the most from, and then that's where we get our most success. Good morning, everybody. It's awesome to see everybody. I'll say hi this morning. My Uncle Bill, Mr. Dakin, and Mr. Drehobel are watching. Rebecca, good morning. Miss Moyer, always great to see you. Andy Williams, awesome to see you, sir. Mary, good to see you this morning. Miranda's up. Terry's up. Great to see everybody. Go make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.